Hello everybody, my name is Hanna Falk and I am one of the founders and also the CEO of the company called Cruitive. Cruitive is owned and founded by nerds, including myself. I am an HR nerd who have a vision that I want to be one of those people who change the world, the way we recruit around the world. A change towards more safer, more equal and simply in all possible ways better recruiting processes. And I early understood that this journey needs to include technology. Lucky me, I found two technical nerds, Simon and Philip, who have a vision that they want to build a company who works with modern, innovative and effective technology to build something cool. Our united vision became two-parted. First, we want to always rely on scientifically recommended HR methods and techniques, simply because we want our customers to be able to rely and trust on their own quality of work while working in our system. And two, we want to build a system only by using the best possible technology so that our customers can get simpler and more efficient work done, but without jeopardizing the quality of work. Even though people seem to change to get more open-minded, we still meet many people who think that it is dangerous to rely too much on technology in the recruiting process. We also believe that people still does a lot of the work better than computers, and that a lot of the technology that is used today actually are counterproductive. But we also firmly believe that in a lot of the times it is actually very, very much so that technology outshines us people. And we think that it would be dumb of us not to take advantage of these technologies. At Cruitive, we aim to find the best possible relation, the optimal relation between humans and technology when it comes to the recruiting process. We want to make it as easy as possible to make it right when it comes to recruiting. And we think that this needs to include AI. Never before companies have had and used so much help to get through with their recruiting processes and make them simple and efficient. But still, according to many sources, the numbers of incorrectly made recruitments are higher and higher. More people are wrongly recruited. Why? Well, our belief is that the focus is wrong and that we collectively lack a sense of patience. Recruiting are getting more attention, it's getting more invested in, and more companies seem to understand the value of a good recruiting process and are more willing to invest and focus on this. But we also see a lot of examples where new technology are invested in that actually could be great, but instead lowers the quality of work. We think that this is because the technology either is sold and implemented too early, implemented in the wrong way, taken out of its context, or is given too much attention in the recruiting process as a whole. One thing that we think makes us different is that we firmly believe that if we are ought to really make a difference when it comes to the quality of the recruiting process, and not just more efficient, fun or cool using technology, we can't have the technology as our primary focus yet in this early stage of the development. Instead, we think that we have to focus on the HR methods. HR needs to be the leading force here. Good HR methods need to be the foundation from which the technical development and use are developed from. And it needs to be very carefully and thoroughly done. If we, for example, are going to measure recruiting processes in a scale from 1 to 10, where 1 equals that the recruiting results in a worst possible match between candidate, position and organization, and 10 therefore is the best possible match. It is believed that using only HR techniques and methods done by human work, we can come up as high as 6 or maybe 7 in this scale, which means it's fairly likely that the person is a good match. When combining good HR methods with practically testing the candidate in actual work situations, we can come up as high as just above 8 in this scale. which means that the match is very likely to be a good match. These examples, to be clear, is when the recruitment process is exactly and completely done by the textbook examples of how it should be done. And I have to say, of course, there are always exceptions, and different studies shows us different numbers. So this is only roughly to show you how it's done. But it's easy to conclude that it's really, really hard to recruit, and that only when very good executed recruiting is done, we can be fairly sure that the match is a good match. It's therefore, according to us, very clear to understand that if we ought to do more stable and high qualitative recruiting processes, we need something more than just human work. And we think that this something is technology. The world of recruiting needs technology. Here we started our journey. We started to build a system that would make it as easy as possible for recruiters to go through with a recruiting process according to the textbook, so that the likeliness of them conducting these 6 to 7 grades good recruitments, which seems to be as good as human can do, would be as high as possible if only done by human work. Even though we wanted to, we never in this stage used any automations or AI functions. We did just build a simple recruiting system with a helpful design, and in collaboration with a lot of recruiters around in Sweden, we changed the design in ways to make it better and better. HR in focus. And we actually already here saw great effects. Only by building a system thoroughly designed of their own work, we saw that not only did the quality of recruiting increase, but also the stability and the efficiency of the work. Just by helping them with a system thoroughly made, built after their own work, they felt that their recruiting not only increased in quality, but actually became more efficient and stable. When we were satisfied with the first version of Cruitive, we started the process of adding more and more technology to try to push the likelihood of getting a perfect match, a 10 on the scale, as high as possible. Basically, and summarily said, a good recruiting process includes a combination of thoroughly made groundwork, the first stages of the process when you work with the needs and requirements, and a sort of dehumanization of the later stages of the process, the stages when you evaluate the candidates. I'm going to explain it further. First, this means that all the people in a recruiting process needs to have a united understanding about the needs and requirements of a job. And here there are no room for different interpretations or thoughts about anything, basically. This is something that is very, very hard for us people to actually follow, but technology can help us a lot here. Here, Cruitive are and will be working on technologies that tries to understand the users and to interpret their work and combine different users' work to a shared understanding. We are also building some automations for parts of the process where people tends to use too much feelings or unconscious thoughts. For example, we auto-generate interview materials, and we narrow down widely described descriptions of a role and help the recruiters to narrow it down to more on-point requirement descriptions. We also highlight and take in consideration more information about the companies than people tends to do. The process, moreover, needs to be very structured, which is something that technology simply are better at than humans. Much is done here by only using user interface and thinking extra about the user experience. But we at Cruitive also tries to develop technologies using AI that guides the users to be more structured. We try to teach the system to understand how a good recruiting process should be done, and then make the system guide and help the users towards that way of working. Okay. And in the later, most important stages of the process, when evaluating and analyzing the candidates, it is important that everyone pushes their feelings and guts aside, something that people actually are quite bad at. but computer doesn't have any problems with. Many people says that my gut feeling is important for our company. We say, well, it is very much important to take under consideration both values, internal relationships and organizational culture, which in many ways correlate with gut feelings. But because how hard it is for us humans to put aside our feelings and unconscious thoughts, we think that this is an important part of the process where technology actually can make a big difference. Here, Cruitive are working on different technologies with AI in focus, with the goal to help companies to minimize the damage that can be done with human thoughts and feelings and unconscious thoughts by simply do a lot of the work for them in a more equal and effective way. The goal is to present as few but as good candidates as possible. We want to work both with finding and matching candidates with open job positions, but also evaluating those who actually applies for a job, and then present only the best candidates for the company. Kind of like outsourcing the process to their own system. Because even though our AI is built to work the same way for every customer, it also works differently because our system tries to get to know the companies, the customers, and understand the way they work, and therefore also works differently and in a unique way for every company. We are actually now testing out our first AI focusing on these last parts that I just told you about. Both our own technologies, but also our technology in combination with other companies' technologies. For example, we are now trying and evaluating a collaboration with a company called Preciser. Our system tries to understand and interpret the companies, the job descriptions and the requirement profiles on one part, and analyzing and evaluating the candidates in one part, and then try to match these together and help the companies with the first selections. We have also recently done our first matching event in collaboration with Linköping Science Park and LEAD, the incubator here in Linköping. In these events, a lot of candidates posted their profiles into our system, not tailor-made for a specific job, and then we let a lot of the companies here in Linköping post job openings. Our system then matched the candidates with the job openings. I think that over 20 of these matches led to interviews, and we are just now waiting to hear how many of these people who actually have been hired. From these first live tests, we are very happy with the result, but we know that there are still a lot to be done. Now and in the near future, for example, we are investigating and tries to understand how we can make our AI understand and discover differences between the genders. For example, the fact that women often tend to underestimate themselves. We are also investigating how we can find the balance between getting as much information as possible, both from the candidates and companies, but at the same time make it as simple as possible for both parts to use the system. Of course, the AI will get better and understand more if we can get more information, more good information, but at the same time, people doesn't want to spend too much time on the recruiting process. Much information could be found using just simple background research on the internet, but then we are in a big ethical dilemma. So, much of our focus is now on these last parts, developing a good AI, and we gradually implement and develop our system to make the recruiting process better and better, and also more stable, and in the same time more time and cost efficient. Even though we are in an early stage of the development and in the process, we are in a very fun and exciting stage, both because we see clear effects every day, but also because we learn a lot and we understand more and more, which will help us make better functions. Like I said before, recruiting needs technology and AI. The future of recruiting is bright, and we sure think that the future of recruiting includes Cruitive. Thank you for listening on my presentation. My name is Hanna Falk and I'm from Cruitive.